Welcome to my classroom. So I'm coming from the outside door over here, and so this is how you would enter. As you can see, in consideration to emergency and safety, I made sure there was plenty of space between the tables so that there is an easy access to the door, whether it's the outside door or the hallway door. There's plenty of seats for students to get through so they won't collide, they won't crash and hurt each other. I have 5 tables of about 6 students, 1 table of 5. I have an odd number of students this year. And the reason why I created this layout, I designed it this way, is to make sure that the students can easily collaborate with one another. Whether it's think, pair, share, you work with your partners, or with the whole table, because I do a lot of group assignments, group projects, and I definitely value collaboration. So I make sure that that is what I consider when I design the layout of my room. If you look over here, I have my computer lab to the side. I have only 4 computers because when I do use the computers, it's for small group rotations in both language arts and math. I have my groups over here, students, in case they ever forget, my red group, which is my intensive group, up to my purple group. And this is for, like I said, both language arts and math. So I'll have rotations using computers here. And if you look at my side table, this is where I will have the small group items, whether it's math games or math facts. Students know that the materials will always be here whenever we do small group rotations. I have my objective board, my homework board that the students look at first thing in the morning. We look at the objectives to make sure we meet the objectives, and at the end of the day when they take out their agendas and write down homework. The 5th grade team this year decided to do a sports theme together, and because I love the outdoors, I decided to do an extreme outdoor sports. So that's why my library here has a cave, because it's for spelunking. So the decorations on my room correlate to certain outdoor activities, and there is a sign that explains. For instance, here we have Yoshi, and it's because it matches with kayaking and rafting. So even for my students to get exposed to that kind of vocabulary and these kind of outdoor portrayals and activities, I think is beneficial for them. And because Halloween is coming up, I do have some holiday themed work and assignments displayed. And I update work as often as I can for my language arts, for math, for social studies, and for science. I think it's very important that I have space and I create space for student work to be displayed. Over here in the back, I have the supply table, because in addition to collaboration, I would say what I value as well is fostering independence in these students. I mean, so many of these students are so dependent or so coddled, so I want to make sure that my classroom allows them and encourages them to be more independent. So I have supplies back here that they know they can always use as long as they return them and organize the material. So even right here, if you notice how neat it is, I didn't touch it at all. They know what it needs to look like at the end of the day. I have table boxes, table bins of supplies that they are more than open to use. I have construction paper, atlases in this box, whiteboards, partitions, writing portfolios. They all know what's expected. They all know how to go about these functions and responsibilities. Again, more student work. I have my word wall here that ties up a unit. I have photos. I have archery over here, and different posters, different academic posters that they can always refer to and look at. My job wall over here, because again, independence, responsibility, fostering that in my classroom. This is the mission corner. More student work for math. And with, again, just encouraging the collaboration with these tables, I have table groups, table points. Over here is my featured literature. Some books are missing because they're checked out. My students are using them and reading them. Because we are on the astronomy language arts unit, I have some astronomy books. I had more Halloween books here that are checked out that my students are reading, because I definitely want to encourage literacy in this class. And we have the math practices, today's practice, because every day we want to try to practice the different math habits that Common Core has created and encouraged. So this is my classroom, and even with how I seated my students. And of course, I mean, that's just trial and error, seeing which students work well together, which students can work together. So that has been challenging throughout the year, last year and in the beginning of this year as well. But I do look at their CELT scores, because I do have 18 English learners in my class. And so I did consider that. But on top of scores, I personally know these students. I have relationships with these students. I know which students work well together. So I have for instance, here, I have Samantha and Oscar. Samantha is a very quiet, low student. Oscar, he is not particularly high, but he loves to talk. And so even just this pair, I'm very proud of. He brings out, she has been opening up more, talking more, and facilitating discussions. And so that's also what I considered in the seating arrangements. So thank you so much for visiting my classroom. I hope it was insightful in any way. And of course, I'm learning. I'm sure arrangements will change. I also like to kind of change the tables every so often too. I think it's fun to have something new, but always an arrangement that, again, encourages collaboration and that fosters independence. Hope you enjoyed it.